Alright, hey everyone. So I'm a little behind the game here. This news is a few days old now. This broke on February 1st. Brian Flores, as we know, has sued the NFL along with 3 teams as the former head coach for the Miami Dolphins. And he was recently fired on January 10th of this year, but now he's calling it racism in the NFL's hiring practices. So just reading along here at the ESPN article, one thing that stood out is they say it's a 58-page lawsuit that was filed. And 58 goes hand in hand with football when it comes to Freemasonry. Freemasonry equates to 58, and football is credited to Freemason. The Scottish Rite, or was he Skull and Bones member, Walter Camp, who is kind of the one they say that created and established football. And I mean, the most obvious thing that everybody should know about is the Freemason compass and how it's set at 47 degrees, and there's a big G in the middle of the compass standing for geometry. And Gematria stands for geometry in language. So just knowing that and then realizing that the first Super Bowl wasn't held until the 47th season of the NFL, just like how the compass is set at 47 degrees, 47th season, first Super Bowl, and who wins the Super Bowl? The first Super Bowl? The team with the big G on their helmets, right? Green Bay Packers. So, I mean, just a big tribute to Freemasonry to kick off the start of their first Super Bowls. But seeing that Freemasonry 58-page lawsuit, and even black coach equals 58, and that's kind of more the topic what we're talking about. And just to point out, it was on February 1st, 2022 that this was filed, citing racial discrimination. And February 1st is a date that can be written 2/01, like 201, 201, racial discrimination. And it also equates to 102, just like how this is the 102nd NFL season. So, I mean, definitely a standout topic to be discussing in this year's this NFL season. 102 we're familiar with the word slavery and the N-word equating to 102. And let's see. In this article here, it states, Flores alleges Dolphins owner Stephen Ross attempted to incentivize him or to tank and lose games on purpose after he was hired in 2019. So that's when Flores was hired. So with that, Ross allegedly offered Flores $100,000 for every loss that season. So I mean, you would just call this a bribe, right? Well, taking a look at Stephen Ross's birthday, his birthday is May 10th, and if you ran February 1st, the date of this news of the suing, to his upcoming birthday, it was a span of 99 days difference, and the word bribe equals 99. And I'll talk more on 99 after a while. Here, yeah, you can see that he was fired on January 10th, 2022. Let's see what I had here. I was just documenting some articles, but one thing that stuck out was, of course, they had to throw in that Flores went 24-25 in his time with the Dolphins, and then he went 4-2 against his former boss, Bill Belichick. So that 4-2 had to be stamped in there somewhere. This is a meme I put out the day that he was fired because right away it was clear to see that his last name, Flores, equates to 33, like the word fired, 33, and January 10th had 33 date numerology. Taking January 10th, 1110, like Miami, Florida equals 110, perfect date for, news to break in Miami. His birthday, Brian Flores, is February 24th, and if you ran the day that he was fired to his upcoming birthday, it was 45 days difference, and the word sue equates to 45. So that's interesting to see that that was already set, and then here he sues on February 1st, and February 1st also had date numerology of 45. 45 is a pretty big number with IHS, the Jesuit motto abbreviated, 45, and of course ritual, because this is definitely what it is nothing more than a ritual, and that equates to 45. I mentioned the name Brian DeBall because I'll get to him in a minute, but just note that he also has the 45 in his name. racism equals 45, and racism also has the 99, just like how it kind of went along with bribe and how many distance and days it was to Stephen Ross's birthday. But I also wanted to note that racism equals 213, just like Black History Month equals 213. And he just sued on the first day of Black History Month, and we know that the Super Bowl is going to be held on 2/13. So, I mean, what a time for all this to be going on just days before the Super Bowl, really. And to go along with the racism, in 99, Brian Flores' full name, Brian Francisco Flores, in the most pure cipher, equates to 99. And do recall that this NFL season began on September 9th, 9-9, and in the Super Bowl, we're going to have two number 9s going at it, number 9 Burrow and number 9 Stafford. So, I mean, definitely something to look forward to in the Super Bowl. I mean, just anything that along the lines with racism, Black Lives Matter, Super Bowl halftime show. We'll see what all that brings. And here I want to mention that, well, I guess they mentioned the Rooney Rule. So I have that highlighted, and I'll get to what that is in a minute. But apparently, or this is what they're saying, but this is probably all just to show that they're probably just meant to, or who knows who texted this at all. But anyways, it says Bill Belichick accidentally texted Brian Flores to congratulate him on getting the New York Giants job, thinking he was Brian DeBull. So he accidentally text messages Flores thinking he was DeBull. And again, that's who I mentioned up here, Brian DeBull, having that connection with 45 and Ritual. Well, all right, so this is what their text messages say. But to sum it up, Belichick text messages Flores saying, congrats on, landing the job or whatever. And Flores said, did you hear something I didn't? And then Belichick says Giants. And so this was before Flores even interviewed. So Flores hadn't even interviewed yet, and he's kind of getting word that somebody already landed the job. But so Flores says, I have an interview on Thursday. I think I have a shot at it. And then Belichick says, I hear from Buffalo that you're their guy, and I hope it works out if you want it to. And Flores says, definitely, that's what I want. Thank you. And then he takes a minute and says, Coach, are you talking to Brian Flores or Brian DeBull? Just making sure. And then it goes, Belichick says, sorry, I fucked this up. I double-checked and misread the text. I think they are naming DeBull. I'm sorry about that. And so that's pretty much where it ends. So I did see like a brief little clip, I don't know what, maybe it was CBS or something, that Flores stated was, making these remarks, screaming the Rooney Rule and racial discrimination, and because he never even got to interview yet, and they already selected somebody. And so this is Brian DeBull. Notice his birthday is April 14th, just like Jesuit order equates to 144, and that date can be written 14/4. Also take note of the 72 in Jesuit order, because from the day that Brian Flores sued to Brian DeBull's upcoming birthday was 72 days difference. And I also want to point out, or it was 2 months, 13 days, or 10 weeks and 2 days, like that 213 and 102, the 102nd NFL season, and the Super Bowl date 213, and also racism 213, Black History Month 213. So pretty fitting with all of that. Brian Flores also has the 56, like Society of Jesus and Black Lives Matter, all equating to 56. And again, that's another reason to look out for this coming Super Bowl, to see what all happens throughout the whole show, halftime show, or the theatrical, athletic players out there putting on the show for Super Bowl 56. And as Zach stated, Brian Flores is a member of the Boston College, which is a Jesuit university. So we know he's Jesuit educated, or I'm just going to start saying Jesucated. But Boston College has a 2 out of the 4 cipher overlap with Jesuit order 144 and 54. But one thing that stands out with Jesuit order equating to 153 is Mike Tomlin. And Mike Tomlin is the only black head coach in the NFL right now remaining. and his birthday can be written 15/3, like 153, March 15th. And I mean, this is what it's all about, is the black coaches in the NFL. So it's interesting to see that that's what his birthday is. But if you want to run the date that February 1st, the day that Flores sued the NFL to Mike Tomlin's upcoming birthday, it was exactly 42 days to his upcoming birthday. That big number that's all over Black history and stamped on Black people. And just a short list here: February equates to 42, the N-word 42, slavery 42, boy 42, blacks 42, and so on. So much more to talk about that. And today is 4/2, February 4th, or February 2nd, a date that can be written 4/2. So, I mean, we'll see what all the news brings us today in Black History Month. And to get to what the Rooney Rule is, it's named after Dan Rooney, and he's passed away since 2017. But I'll just state here, he is credited with spearheading a requirement that NFL teams with head coach and general manager vacancies interview at least one minority candidate, which has become known as the Rooney Rule. And something that stands out about him is he was the former owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and just knowing that he kind of had that rule set in place, it's interesting to know that Mike Tomlin is a coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And taking a look at the birthday of Rooney, his birthday is July 20th, the 201st day of the year, and he died at the age of 84. I mean, he was born in a leap year, just to note that, but he spent most of his birthday celebrating it on the 201st day of the year. The Jesuit order equates to 201, just like 84. Jesuit order equates to 84, just like the year he died, his age of death. So interesting to see that, but I mean, it just goes right back to where we started: racial discrimination. 201, the Jesuit order, and the birthday of the man who created the Rooney Rule. And so that's pretty much all I had documented, but I just wanted to get this out here because it kind of took some time on the blogging. I just hadn't had the time to present it. But I mean, again, today being 4/2, we'll see what the news brings. And this is all just a show. And I mean, this didn't happen. I mean, we're not. It's very obvious that this is happening because it's the 102nd NFL season, and the 56th Super Bowl goes hand in hand with Black Lives Matter. So, I mean, that's why we have all this racial division and topic in the NFL right now. All right, we'll see you.